Yo, what's up? Lovely sauce. Thank you very much for clicking. How are you doing today? You see, here we are all about love, peace, forgiveness, and unity. As our message out there to the world, man. Straight out of Africa with good vibes, lots of good vibes, extra good vibes. Watch till the end and help spread this message. Hit the like button and tell us where you're watching from, man. You are wonderful and respected. Let's dive in. Good vibes till the end.
Hey, this is a genuine question to like older people. What did you do before you could look something up? Like, if you saw someone and you were like, oh, they remind me of that actor. What was that? What's his name? Like, and you couldn't, and none of your friends knew. Would you go to a library?
So it kind of went like this. God, what's the name of that guy? He was in the movie. There was like a bomb on the bus. He's got like a weird name. I can't think of it. I don't know. Okay, then I'm just going to sit here and not know. And no, we could not use the library because the library was not like Google. You can't go into a library and like look at the books and go, movie about an actor with a bomb on a bus. The books don't answer you. So we just didn't know shit. We didn't know shit about shit ever. And there were times where you would have like an actor's name on the tip of your tongue and it would drive you crazy for months. And then you'd be walking down the street and you'd see a movie poster and be like, Dustin Hoffman, yes! And your friends are like, what are you doing? And you're like, I couldn't think of this actor and I just saw it. And they totally got it because they've been through it a million times too.
Ah, okay. Oh no, that is very scared. You mean Paris
At the
exists?
center of the crease of the wrist is the button for a broken heart. This point helps anything to do with disruption of the spirit. Massage both sides till you feel a physiological change and it will relax your heart.
Chapter 1 in less than 30 seconds. The big idea is never criticize anyone. The author talks about how Al Capone, who was a murderer who killed 700 people in Chicago, thought that he didn't do anything wrong and that he was just a nice, misunderstood guy. If he thinks that, imagine what the people that you and I deal with on a daily basis think about themselves. So don't criticize. All you're going to do is arouse defensiveness and the other person's going to try to justify themselves. Chapter 2 is next.
Ah, okay, now this is interesting. This baby lion practices stalking skis on his mom. Oh, what? This is interesting. And the mom looks scared or surprised, like, genuinely, that's interesting, man. I love
Man's
it.
not alive, but he's changed millions of lives. He's going to tell you why you've been lied to about anxiety and tell you the truth.
Now, an ignorant person does not understand that they can operate with their intellectual factors, they can choose the picture and get emotionally involved, and they can see the results come about in their life. They don't understand that they're letting their results control their thinking. So they set a goal, but then they look for the signals that it's going to happen. Where they start to look at the empty bank account, the wealth, it's not there. We don't know if we're going to have enough money to keep going. And what we do at that point, we forget our goal and we start to worry. And then we doubt ourselves. And it's a negative experience. It's a psychic disease. That worry instantly and automatically turns into an emotional state called fear. That energy that we call fear, that negative energy, must be expressed through the only medium it can be expressed through, and that's this thing that you live in, your physical body.
Ha! Oh my god, that's nice.
Oh, that's so cool. Look like great cheese coming out. I'm gonna be honest, before TikTok, I never did this. I would just cut off the pieces that stuck out on the end. Now, I can't not do this, and I'm so annoyed.
Bro, I don't know what they put in McDonald's Sprite, but that shit.
Did you know this huge life hack? Instead of cutting the bottle like this, there is a cap that you can twist and open the bottle.
Oh, I didn't know that. Ah! Oh my god.
We chose to be here. What the heck were we thinking?
You were thinking, how exciting.
Okay, well, I mean, what were the attributes that made this challenging existence seem like a good idea?
Let me give you a rough analogy. Perhaps not all the males will be able to relate to this, but we'll think of others in a minute. But the females, maybe, will relate to this. Many of you know that when females have babies, sometimes there's a lot of physical pain. And at a certain point, you may say, I'll never go through that again. A year later, oh, I want to have another child. Have you forgotten what it was like? I guess so. You must remember that when you, in a sense, go into spirit, it's like waking up from a dream. And when it feels like your physical reality was a dream, it's not a big deal for a spirit to say, that was interesting, let's do that again. Because from the perspective of the spirit, that's who you actually are, and this was just a dream. It was just an interesting experience. It doesn't carry a lot more weight than that. So the idea really is that even though we know what you experience in this life, the idea is to learn that this life can actually become more like the spirit experience, and over the course of many generations, that's what you're doing, is creating this reality to be more like the vibration of your true natural self and create heaven on earth. And therefore you understand that there is great impact in this, there is great experience in this, there is great love in this, there is great strength in this. Remember that there are many things going on that connect to the experience you are all having on earth that are not just relegated to your planet alone, to your reality alone. As we have often talked about, there are many civilizations that are going through their own transitions. Many of them are not necessarily as strongly invested in the exploration of darkness and negativity as Earth has been. But the point is that if your people can go through the idea of finding light through the experience of extreme dark, if you can do that, then anything is possible. And those other civilizations can learn from you that if you can do it, they can do it. And you are great teachers in that context. And believe me, when you are in spirit and when you see what effect that has and how loving an act it is for you to experience what you have experienced, you often simply come from the compassion and the unconditional love of creation in thus saying, I will do that again. Now, that's not always the reason. There are sometimes as many reasons as there are individuals. Nevertheless, that's a profound one. It's a strong one. It's one that many of you have chosen. And remember, you all knew before you chose these lives that this was going to be an age of great transformation on your planet. Many of you just couldn't resist going along for the ride. You say, I want to be there right at that time. That's so exciting. It's so interesting. Yeah, I know it'll be a little bumpy. But the interest, the excitement, the outcome will make it worthwhile. You all gave yourselves that guarantee, even though your physical minds don't always remember. This is why it's so important to form these dialogues now and relationships with the higher mind, because the higher mind does know. that it's all working out. The only reason it seems not to be is because the physical mind is offering resistance to its natural self. But the less resistance it offers, the more fun the ride will be. Thank you.
Bashar, I think before you've described there's a difference in terms of having an experience when you're a physical being versus if you're in spirit.
Yes.
Could you explain that difference?
Well, there are many different kinds of differences, but again, one is the idea that in spirit, you know that space and time are illusions and manifestations are instantaneous. In a sense, manifestations are also instantaneous in physical reality, but you can create an instantaneous manifestation to seem very similar to the last manifestation. And so it may seem as if manifestation is not instantaneous. But the idea is that gives you the opportunity in physical reality to experience what you call the process of creation. And that gives you a richer, more detailed understanding of the experience than you can have in spirit. And that's one of the main differences. You actually get to see, feel, taste, touch, smell, hear creation happening instead of just having it happen.
So it's an appreciation class, huh?
It is a deep appreciation class, and it is no accident in your language that you have associated that term with the idea of money. Because the notion is, the more you appreciate yourself, the more you know what you're truly worth. And that's an economy that will never falter.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Bashar.
Ah, it's interesting.
Come here. You move the hole like this and take it off. Show those kids how you do that. And that one's really good. And then don't really poke a hole. Just pretend like I did. You're doing it wrong. Let me show you. This is what you do. Watch this. You take it right here. Do you see the second president right here? No, it's the first president in the dollar. Always remember that. You wave it like this and you put it through. See? Then you move it over and take it off. Got it? Try it.
I already forgot it.
Oh, you already forgot? Well, that means...
And now that you already have it, how do you feel? Your feelings are very important. We undermine our feelings. Feelings are very, very powerful. Want peace and harmony in your life. Feel it, like you've already got it. How does that feel, to have peace and harmony when you haven't had it for a long time before? And visualize you already have it, and then let go.
Awakened in December 2006. Ooh. And I've been on the journey for a while now, but I don't feel like I'm at this space or place that I really want to be. I'm want more growth.
An expectation, an assumption, an insistence. I'm not where I want to be.
So.
One moment. Okay. May I share with you our definition of abundance if you haven't heard it?
Sure. Thank you, yes.
The ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Notice I didn't say want. Okay. Want can sometimes align with what you truly need, but very often in your society, because of belief systems you hold on to that you may not even be aware of, wants may often have nothing to do with what you actually need. They can turn into insistences. If I don't experience this, something has gone wrong. That's a definition. It's not a fact. It's a belief. It's an opinion. It's a perspective. Why would you assume that where you are now is not perfectly where you need to be? Why would you assume that you needed to see something happen specifically in order for you to know that you are exactly perfectly where you need to be? Why are you making your state of being conditional on what happens in an illusionary reality?
Okay.
Where did you think you were supposed to be at this point? How did you picture it? What did you envision?
I envisioned that I was supposed to be like healthier in my health and my finances. I know those are external factors.
But they're also limited definitions. Because you're saying finances. Is that the only form of abundance you allow in your life to be real?
Oh, no, I don't believe that at all. I just think
Then why did you say it?
Because I haven't, okay, so
Yes.
from the teachings that I had received previously meeting you,
Yes.
right now, I was taught metaphysically that as I changed my belief system and how I
Yes.
view and value and see myself, that I am supposed to be manifesting those passions and desires.
And when you didn't see them the way you thought, what kind of state did you go into?
I went into, I feel like it's more like a slight disappointment, but I know not to
Stay
go.
there. Stay there.
Okay.
Be honest.
Okay.
I know not to go there, but I went there anyway. And what does that mean? That was your reaction to what you thought should be happening that wasn't? It means you haven't changed. So why should your reality? You see, you test yourselves. You go, am I going to base what's going on in my life on what happens outside? If I don't see what I thought I was supposed to see, I am not going to stay in a positive state. I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to disappoint myself from my seat of power. You haven't changed. So why should your reality? It doesn't matter what happens. It only matters what you do with what happens. That's the lesson here. Not that you're supposed to see your reality change. The idea is to be the state you prefer to be, even if your reality stays the same. Because if you can't be the state that you prefer to be in, even if your reality doesn't change, you haven't changed. Is this making some sense?
Yes.
You see, this is kind of, and I do not mean in any way, shape, or form, any offense at this. Please don't take it that way.
Okay.
Some of you know just enough metaphysics to be dangerous. You learn a certain amount of these principles and you apply them, but not necessarily as fully or in the precise way that it actually needs to be applied. You think it's supposed to get you this, when in fact it might be absolutely the opposite thing that you really need to experience. The idea is to not base your state on what's going on or not going on outside in the reflected reality. And if you keep finding yourself being disappointed when something doesn't happen the way you thought it ought to by now, you haven't changed. You're just proving over and over again that there is no reason for your reality to change because you haven't. Is this making some sense?
Yes. Yes.
That's all right. Let it out. Remember, this is good. This emotional response is positive. Why? Because when you hold on to negative beliefs, you have to create a chemical component in your body to match the belief on a physical level. When you're finally letting go of limiting negative beliefs, you have to wash those chemical constituents out of your body. How do you do it? Tears. They're tears of relief, tears of release, tears of joy. So it's good to have this response of your tears because you're washing the negative chemicals out of your body that were representative of the beliefs you were holding on to that now you're beginning to let go of, because now you have a deeper understanding of how this actually works. It's all right to go through life. It's all right to go through life being happy even if what you assumed would happen hasn't happened. It's all right to choose to be happy no matter what. It's okay. It's okay as a choice. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Now, remember, you can use visualization all you want. It's a beautiful tool. It is. But you have to understand what visualization is actually for. Visualizing an ideal outcome is not to insist that that must be the way the outcome happens. Visualization is for the purpose of creating a symbolic representation of an ideal outcome that gets you so excited about the possibility of that kind of an outcome that you get into the excited state you need to be in. Then once you're in the excited state, you drop the picture utterly so that your higher mind can bring you what it really needs to bring you, because you don't know on the physical level if the picture you have in your physical mind is actually the ideal outcome. Your higher mind could bring you something 10 times greater than your physical mind could imagine, but when you sit there and insist, no, it's got to look like this or something's wrong, you're shutting the door to what your higher mind could bring you that could be greater. You don't know. You have to get your physical mind used to the understanding that you don't know what the ideal outcome for you actually is. Sometimes, yes, it might match your vision, might be very close, might even be identical sometimes, but you don't know that that's what it needs to be. So if you understand, if you start understanding that insisting on the visualization is actually a negative limitation that prevents you from experiencing something greater that your higher mind can bring you, you'll stop doing it. You'll stop insisting. Remember, here's a formula. Insistence equals resistance. You slow everything down. You block the doorways through which things could be coming to you because you're getting in your own way with your assumptions about the way things are supposed to be. There is no supposed to. Let it be what it is. Everything that comes to you, whatever it is that's coming to you, is exactly perfect for what it is. Use it. Stay in the positive state and use it. It wouldn't be there if there wasn't a reason for it. You need to trust the way reality works. You need to trust the mechanism. You need to trust the structure. Just go with the flow. Relax. Because if you know that no matter what happens, it's always going to benefit you, what do you care what happens? That's power. That's power. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter how things look. It doesn't matter what doesn't happen. It will always benefit me. That's power. That's a position of power. That's self-empowerment. Stay there. Don't leave it. Unless, of course, you like to suffer. I won't stop you if that's your passion.
No.
But understand you don't have to make that choice. Is this helping?
Very much so, thank you.
You are so welcome.
Ah, okay, that's interesting.
Where are you going? Why are you approaching me? Can you not? Sir, can I... What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, this animals are very
Look what
intelligent.
I've just found here. It's a little mole. He's trying to dig through my hand. Look at the cute little mole.
You're done.
Oh, what's happening here? Oh, some firefighters, they're putting off fire. That's what? Oh my god.
Do any of you guys feel like you don't belong here? Because I've always felt that way. I've always felt that way, and I feel it now more than ever. I mean, the world is absolutely crazy. And the ironic thing is that if you call it crazy and point out the things that are crazy, people call you crazy. And it's just getting worse and worse. And just, I mean, look at it. You have men trying to be women, women trying to be men. You have men telling you you can have babies. You have women telling you that it's okay to kill babies. And there's just like the lack of moral fiber or depth in people. Just the
the mundane shit that people are into. I mean, people's lives evolve round watching Netflix series, eating junk, like no purpose, just the 9 to 5 grind, and no one questions it. Everyone's just sitting there scrolling on their phones, living their lives on social media to the point where their own physical lives pale into comparison. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I'm here on social media right now, right? But I have some balance in my life. But you walk past restaurants and you have couples there just scrolling, looking soulless. And it's just worse, it's just getting worse. The lack of basic manners that people have. Everyone's out for themselves. You've got cars cutting up on each other. You've got people barging into each other. And I don't know what happened to us as a species. And no one questions it. Everyone goes on regardless. And I don't feel a connection to these people. I don't feel their heart energy. I don't feel their soul energy. And I don't know whether it's just been beaten out of us. I know the poke in the arm over the last few years, people have seemed to have got worse. But it's always seemed strange to me, this world, the way people treat each other. The way people, walk past homeless people like they're inhumane. Like, what are we really? I mean, what have we become? Like, we've become a retarded form of ourselves. Everyone's sitting there in their free time watching Netflix series, eating junk food. People are so unhealthy. So you just look at them, you feel their energy. You just feel how sick they are. Just stuffing their faces with junk food, drinking alcohol, trying to escape themselves in one way or another, whether it's through alcohol or drugs or weed or food or just anything to escape themselves. And again, I'm not sitting here like I'm perfect, but my God, I can't be the only one that feels this way. And I've kind of always felt like this. And it's weird. It's weird how we see each other as separate as well. Black versus white, gay versus straight. Now it's men versus women. It's all over TikTok. And yeah, I don't know. I don't feel any affinity with the human race. What do you guys feel? Do you feel the same? Let me know in the comments, because I just needed to get that off my chest.
Yo, you see now what that wonderful guy was talking about? All this madness, craziness, and chaos going around in the world. It's what we are against here. Us spreading this message of love, peace, and unity, and caring for one another, the universe around us, and so on. You see? Not with all this chaos about separation, people from one another because they don't know of color and gender or what they identify as. That should not bother us, people. We should spread love, you see, and hear all this madness that's going around us. Leave a comment of what you think about all those videos and watch till the end. Help spread good vibes, you see? Yo, you are loved and respected. I've seen some creepy stuff here in the parrot, and it's very surprising. You see, from this side of the world, stories about parrots, they are unfamiliar. And now I hear they are fairy tales, and I see them in videos, and I'm surprised. These things really talk. Ah! Anyway, let's keep watching. Good vibes till the end. See, my good friend here has given me some crazy fruit here. It's wonderful. Oh.
Earth is a living being. You probably realize that. That's what I was saying. Everything is conscious, everything is alive. Earth is a living being. In the beginning, when everything was created, it consented to allow another race of beings to live on it. Human beings, animals. We could not have been allowed to live here if the earth itself had not agreed. So we're living here with permission of the earth. Look what we're doing to it. But the earth is a living being. It also evolves. It's getting ready right now. It's going through, moving into its next incarnation.
Oh, you guys, is that wonderful woman from Mars?
What's the only bone in the human body not connected to another bone?
I would say, coccyx. Well, what do you mean? They're all connected, except for one.
Hold on. There's only one bone that's not connected to another
bone.
A bone.
An actual bone.
An actual bone.
Is it in your ear?
It is not in your ear. There's 3 bones in your ear. Hammer,
anvil, hammer, and stirrup.
Yeah.
You can quiz me. You can quiz me. And what?
Hammer, anvil, and stapes. They were Malleus Incus and stapes is the technical name, but hammer, anvil, and stirrup is good.
Well, I mean, but all bones are connected to something.
Except one.
Except one?
Except one bone is not connected to another bone.
Well,
there's one bone
in your
body.
You know it ain't the leg bone because that's connected to the hip bone.
Femur is connected to the pelvis, yes.
Yeah. What bone is that?
The hyoid bone. It's
the hyoid
floats in your neck. Yep. It's the hyoid
So
bone.
what's it connected to?
It's not connected to another bone. It's free floating.
What's it connected to?
It's just a stabilizer bone. It's actually just suspended in soft tissue. Gives stability to your throat.
Oh, I didn't know there's a bone connected to a muscle. Ah! What? No, this is not what I was talking about. You see these wonderful creatures, they are very intelligent and I hear stories about them. When growing up, we were told they are birds that could talk and do crazy stuff. And I see them here in videos and they look real and I'm really surprised. You mean they really exist? Oh, this is incredible. I'd like to see one live one-to-one and have a talk with it, man. You see, they can talk. Oh, this is very interesting. Can they hear what I'm saying? Oh, if there's anyone there with who was a parrot, say hi. And tell them to say hi if you're not here. It's amazing. Oh, you see the relationship with people and animals and themselves just, it's incredible. You see, these animals are full of love and compassion and they teach us a lot. You see, we should be like this, you guys. Sending love, changing to one another, and compassion, and caring. Oh, good vibes till the end.
Cats apparently hate rosemary, and the plant is actually known to be a natural cat repellent because of how much they dislike the smell. So my question is Gandalf eating my rosemary plant because she actually likes the taste, or is she just eating it to be subversive?
I didn't know that also. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I just saw that video of that lady that said go on TikTok and search up how to manipulate women. What? And there were like 3 major facts that I saw in that video that man was talking about, and I'm gonna talk to you about. And one of the major key points that I want to talk about is how this guy was like, when you spend time with her, make plans with her, and when you spend time with her, you gotta spend a short amount of time with her, so and then get a call and then leave, because so she could think that your time is precious and you're always busy, right? And he said, so the next time y'all get to hang out, she will cherish the time and she will take advantage of the time that y'all spending together. How do y'all even be thinking of this? Like, what did women ever do to y'all? Y'all got some real mommy issues. Because why? Why not just gotta go and settle down? Jesus, why y'all gotta do all that? What did women ever do to y'all? The second one I saw, and I always tell my friends this, do not be telling this guy about your ex or how your ex treated you bad. Stop it. And that's what he was talking about. He was like, you gotta fake your identity, you gotta act like the ex. And that's why most of the time the guys be treating y'all way worse than y'all ex did. And y'all be opening y'all heart out saying, oh, my ex beat me, my ex cheated on me, he would take my car to go to his girlfriend's house. And that's why he beat you, left you stranded with no car and 3 kids. And then there was this other guy that said, try to do everything in your power to make her fall in love. Y'all want to know what happened when my ex told me he loved me? I went quiet and I hung up the phone. And he said, you got to try everything in your power to make her fall in love. And when she says that she loves you, take a step back. I just want to know, what did women ever do to y'all? Y'all are cruel and evil. And the crazy thing is, there is actually good women out there, sweet women, and I'm one of them. And that's why I don't let nobody play with my heart. If you think you're gonna play me, baby, I'm already playing you. I may cry, but be careful when I come back, because when I come back, I will play you and you won't even know about it. Anyways, stay safe, y'all. And if y'all want me to make a part 2 on what I saw, let me know.
Much love to all humans. All humans. Okay, the shape of the torus in electromagnetic fields. Oh. It's like it continues to increase in shapes and requires. What? This is incredible. Oh my god. The shape of the torus in electromagnetic fields. Oh. Hey, check out that guy.
Why are you yelling at me? Those are my friends.